I think it's his Chicago working class upbringing which has really driven his approach to life in the priesthood.
The attribute is he's straightforward, no dodging around.
He's a unique priest, I think.
Come on, baby, don't you wanna go?
Chicago. Monsignor Smith grew up the grandchild of Eastern European immigrants who came through Ellis Island and were renamed Smith when no one could say their given name, Schvedis. It was here the Monsignor went to Catholic schools and ran the streets with his brother Freddie, just 10 months younger.
My mother was tough on both of us in raising us. My dad was a hard-working steel worker, very hard-working. He died an early death at 71.
Monsignor Smith has always been a type where he seemed like a normal human being, although he was a priest, and he's pious, and he preaches the word of the Lord, and he conveys that in every sermon that we've heard him. But when I look at the pulpit, I see a human being first, and then a priest.
A priest who began and ended many masses with a joke.
If you heard a good joke, you'd want to share it with him. And he does the same thing with his friends, I believe. He shares good jokes, and that speaks a lot to a human being. That speaks a lot to a priest.
But there's no laughing matter at what Monsignor Smith does in private.
He's in touch with the real world in a very pragmatic way, all right? He's nobody's fool, and I'm talking about business matters, and you get a sense of that by what boards he is on vis-a-vis the diocese. So he's very astute, but that street smartness has not contributed to what you would call cynicism. That street smartness coexists with compassion.
It's at this point in the story that we should tell you about the countless number of families that Monsignor Smith has helped to clothe, shelter, feed, and educate. First at St. Joseph's, where he served as an associate, then at All Saints, where he served as pastor. Later at St. Pius, he was elevated to Monsignor during his 16 years there. And lastly, Monsignor Smith was assigned as St. Raphael, his longest period of service of nearly 30 years. It's here, St. Raphael's Parish, that Monsignor Smith is most closely associated. He didn't begin the school here, but he helped to oversee it and grow it to become one of El Paso's most successful Catholic campuses. The Reverend Monsignor Francis J. Smith Scholarship Fund, established by the Foundation for the Diocese of El Paso in July 2015, honors Monsignor Smith's retirement and 48 years of service to the diocese. It has raised close to $10,000 in just 2 months. The scholarship fund will provide for young students who couldn't otherwise afford to attend St. Raphael Catholic School. They will be known as the Monsignor Smith Scholars. While serving here and serving a growing East Side parish, he also served on the board of directors for Catholic Properties of El Paso, the Diocesan Finance Council, the Presbyteral Council, the Priest Personnel Board, the Vocation Council, and as president of the Priest Retirement Trust. He served the Mission Trail Association, the Holocaust Museum, and the Military Order of World Wars. Today, he is in the inactive reserves and holds the rank of captain. And still, that's not all. Monsignor Smith was named Vicar General of the diocese in 1986 and was also elevated to the Papal Protonotary, the highest rank of Monsignor, with the authority to notarize papal documents at the request of the Pope. He is, by those who know and love him, a good man, a great priest.
Is unbelievably generous to people that, and he doesn't flaunt that. I think he has supported a lot of people in our parish with his generosity.
In spite of his retirement, Monsignor's compassion is still quietly lived out. His latest venture, raising $35,000 for his fellow priests and their retirement community known as Casitas San Mateo. And he remains a force on the very board serving you tonight, the Foundation for the Diocese of El Paso, a philanthropic organization he helped found in 2001. Through his efforts and those of the board members, the foundation has raised $12 million in endowed funds since 2001 and manages 85 separate endowment funds for El Paso parishes, schools, ministries, and Catholic charities.
Yeah, the foundation is, I'm very, very much impressed with what they're doing. It has made our Catholic congregation conscious of the needs of the people and of the diocese. And this, I think, is wonderful.
It is for these reasons and so many more that tonight we honor Monsignor Francis Smith, even if, and there's no surprise here, he doesn't think he deserves it.
I don't like these things. And I've told my friends this, and they said, you accept it. And I will accept it graciously and with thanks. Why should you be rewarded for doing things that you're supposed to be doing?
And tonight's 2015 Dei Gratia Award recipient is Reverend Monsignor Francis J. Smith.